Loki, the best and sexiest show in the entire Marvel franchise. WandaVision was a confusing mess. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was okay, but a little bland. Didn't make me feel anything. But I made sure they wouldn't mess up this one. How I made sure of it? I performed a satanic ritual. I invoked a deity called Belial to give me enough energy to influence everyone involved in the creative process. And as you can see, it worked. Now you know who to thank, whom to thank. You're welcome. Loki is short. Sure, it's as short as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but somehow the Falcon seemed so much longer. Do you know why we enjoy orgasms so much? It's because they're short. They don't overstay their welcome. It's viciously, unapologetically inventive and eccentric compared to the Falcon. Because by contrast, Loki doesn't really expand the Marvel universe so much. It just tells the story of what happened to one of the characters. So the writers didn't feel like they had to follow so many established storylines and they could just go ahead and be creative. But correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not an expert. It's sexy as hell. If I could have sex with any show, I would shag this one and Twin Peaks. So yeah, naturally I wouldn't mind having sex with that woman judge and with that hunter girl played by Sasha Lane and also Sylvie, although I'm not really big on blondes, to be honest. But also, now bear in mind I'm straight, pretty straight. And yet, just like I would make an exception for Kyle MacLachlan, I would make a big exception for Tom Hiddleston. But when I say I would fuck a show, I don't just mean I would want to have sex with the characters. I mean I would fuck everything in that show. I mean the entire show is utterly, extremely shaggable. Everything about Loki is so damn sexy. I wouldn't just shag the actors. I would shag the design, the soundtrack, the colors, the end credits. If I could talk to Miss Minutes, I would ask her some sexy questions, like I did with Alexa. Oh come on, don't tell me you've never tried that. The show is claustrophobic, it's Kafkaesque, it's retro, it's steampunk, diesel punk, it's Blade Runner-esque, noir. You know what I'm talking about. And all these three timekeeper androids, it was one of the spookiest things ever, not just on the telly. When Loki and Sylvie entered that hole, I felt some kind of primal fear, some kind of eerie anxiety. And it's just a bloody TV show. Richard E. Grant. When I was a kid, my parents took me to see Warlock. Warlock is a horror film where Richard plays a guy who hunts a bad witcher, played by Julian Sands, and it's one of the most unfairly overlooked horror films of the 1980s, or ever. And that was one of the two times when Mom, Dad and I went to the cinema together. The second one was Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And so whenever I see Richard E. Grant, I have to think back on those happy times. I don't think I was ever as happy as I was back then. I actually saw him once back in 2011 at a shopping mall in West London. The show is dark and it feels grown up enough, but at the same time it never gets too grown up. So it manages this tricky balance between sinister and playful. It just feels like some kind of opium-induced dream, and that's the best kind of show, if you ask me. Actually, I think Loki is better than any MCU film, maybe except for Ragnarok, which is funny because the previous Thor, The Dark World, was the worst one in the entire franchise. Here's a thought. If Loki and Sylvie are basically the same thing, and if they ended up having sex, would that be masturbation or incest? One point of criticism. They really had to have a fucking bunch of CGI in the sky, didn't they? In episode 5. Is Marvel somehow under contractual obligation to do that? But, on the other hand, the visuals are among the best I've ever seen in a TV show. In fact, I'm not even sure if the story is really that good, just because there is so much else to enjoy in the show. Now, I need to say that I'm not a huge Marvel connoisseur. I don't remember what exactly happened in the movies. I think Loki killed a bunch of people, but I think it's maybe because I can't really remember what happened in the movies that I can enjoy Loki, because maybe if I remembered what Loki did, I would have a harder time believing his transformation from evil to good. I don't know, just a thought. And to be honest, I can't even remember exactly what the Tesseract is. It's a MacGuffin, isn't it? It's basically a piece of CGI that is supposed to do something important to cause even more CGI. Did I get that right? See, every time I watch a Marvel production, I have some kind of bad conscience because it always feels like I'm wasting my time. Now, Loki. Here I'm not even sure if there is some kind of deeper meaning to it or not. Probably not. But it feels like there may be something. And it's quite a lot already.